Most people don't have an exit strategy for their business. I'm Tanya Wilson, also known as the Growth Strategist, and I support women just like you to step into their personal power, scale their business, and create lifestyles they love. At this current time, I want you to head over to a link that I'm going to leave for you and join us for the 3D Brand Masterclass. It is a 4-day opportunity. The first 3 days you get are self paced, and then you meet up with all of us for the fourth day for the actual masterclass. So many people have been talking about rebranding. Listen, rebranding is something that successful businesses hardly ever do, sometimes throughout the life of the business. If so, it's decades before a rebrand even happens. It's because of maybe a merger or something major that happened in the business. But in the online space, I'm seeing people saying they need to rebrand after having been in business 10 months, 4 months, 2 months, saying that they are outgrowing things. But if you brand properly, rebranding isn't something that you're consistently having to do. And so I'm spending that day, those 4 days actually, talking about what branding really is. It's not your website, it's not your logos, it's not your pretty pictures. We're going to talk about branding from the space of your destiny, your dollars, and your disciplines, and how aligning those things with the branding concepts, 3D branding concepts that I use, are going to help you tremendously in your business. Branding is something that evolves with you as you're growing and expanding. If you brand it properly, your brand should evolve with you. So make sure you sign up to join us for that masterclass. And on today, I want to talk about the fact that most people don't have an exit strategy for their business. And believe it or not, their goal in their business is just to work. And this is why when so many business owners, especially service-based business owners, if they maintain the owner-operator position, close their business without actually being in a space of planning to close, like an actual exit strategy. Closing is normally because they're tired or they just didn't see any other option. And I want to do my part and help as many people as possible to understand the importance of creating an exit strategy. When I'm working with my private clients or those who join me inside 3D Success Academy, we build from a space of exiting. Whether they just started, which I don't work with a lot of people who just started their business, but I do have some um, people who are in corporate who had like a side hustle that they're turning into a business. Many of my clients are established, but even when they come to me, so many things from a growth perspective have not been done. And so we focus from a long-term perspective, even an exit strategy. We start with the end in mind. And what happens when business owners don't have an exit strategy? A few things occur. Number one, there is a lot of hustle, right? They're normally kind of all over the place when they don't have an exit strategy. Oftentimes, without an exit strategy, they also lack proper systems in their business. So, there's no real rhyme or reason, even if they've earned a lot of money. It may be because they continue to create a whole lot of different things. But if someone was to come and look at their business from an investment standpoint, it wouldn't be something that they could sell because the business is likely to still depend so heavily on them in order to earn revenue, especially those who have brick and mortar businesses or are service based. They simply don't build from a space of planning one day to be able to sell the business or even transfer it down as legacy. When it's time to transfer it down, many of the children are looking like, I don't want to work that hard. But it's often because there were not systems created so that the business works for you instead of you working for the business. Most people, when they open their business, their only goal is to work. And so what the business actually becomes, instead of a business that is making more money, it becomes a bigger job for them, sometimes bigger than if they worked in corporate, or if they worked for another company prior. Their job becomes a bigger business for them. And so I want to encourage people to create an exit strategy. It will change how your daily operations are. It will change how you run your business. It will change the efficiency in your business. And it will also allow you measures of time freedom over time, because you're creating the business to work for you and not you to work for the business. That's my take on today. I'm Tanya Wilson, also known as the Growth Strategist, business consultant and mindset coach. I support women just like you to step into their personal power, scale their business, and create lifestyles they love. I will leave the link in the comments to the 3D Brand 4-day masterclass. As soon as you enroll, you will get access to day 1, and then the next day, day 2, and then the next day, day 3. And then you'll join all of us together for the live masterclass, where I'll do some coaching. I'm going to talk about the levels of growth, the stages of growth. Most people are still in the seed stage, even if they've been in business for a decade. And the seed stage is the first stage. I'm going to break all of those stages down to you. We're going to talk about the different archetypes that's operating at those different levels. Like at the seed stage, it is the Genesis creator. And then I'm going to talk about income ranges that normally happen and what people are doing during those times. It's going to be absolutely amazing. You're going to have a more clear understanding of what it really means to brand your business. And then we're going to talk about different stages of growth during the masterclass. You can go to renewfullcircle.com/BG. Again, that's renewfullcircle.com/BG. And I will leave the link to that in the comments. And as always, you can definitely find it on my website, renewfullcircle.com. Peace and abundance.